everyone. Welcome back. This week we were doing the model shoot for Blaze. Very interesting one. A lot of difficulties, like as with every week, but we overcame. Managed to sort of make everything work. After a few tries, which was good. So very glad that we managed to figure that one out. It's been interesting working on these characters and revisiting the designs. After a while, I think it was maybe in September, or it was around August, September that I started, or even maybe before that I started reworking on the characters. So it's been a little bit of a while. And that was last year. So it's been interesting revisiting the characters, revisiting the designs and stuff like that. On Blaze, as you will see, I decided to change his clothing to back to what it originally was when I first came up with these characters, and I sort of drew them in a kiddie kind of format. I wouldn't say it's chibi necessarily in style, but as in proportion wise, definitely chibi kind of style. Massive heads, small bodies. I changed it back, and I think that works more with his character. And I also gave him a scar, which is cool. Not to make him look like a bad character, but I hopefully want to use this character to address negative stereotypes between certain images, and all of these kind of things. So it should be interesting to see how it goes. So I've just been designing these characters, working behind the scenes. I've spoken to another artist who's helping me with one of the backgrounds for the first episode. So that's all exciting, that's going on behind the scenes. And we've just been working on it, trying to get past these hurdles, and pretty much find a way to get everything done, the animation and everything done. So it's a slow process, but we're still going, keep it rolling. It's been very interesting working on the character, working on the facial expressions, trying to get the character to look the same, like someone that I don't really normally redraw things. If I've drawn something to a decent enough standard once, and I never really revisit it, just pretty much because of the fear that maybe I might not be able to get it like how it was initially when I first drew it. That has been a bit of a problem for me, but I'm grateful for this sort of process, which has enabled me to confront that issue, and try to work on these characters who are the first recurring characters that I've ever really worked with and worked on, and work on the faces. Sometimes it takes me quite a long time to work on the faces, work on the body proportions and work on everything, but usually by the time I'm done, I'm pretty happy with the standard. And that's another thing that I've been learning 100% about art and stuff like that. It to an extent, but different experiences bring out different extents or different levels of understanding of what it is to draw and stuff like that. So happy for those experiences. And pretty much what I learned is that like drawing is just trial and error, man. You know, there's a lot of like skills and tips and tricks that I've developed, like especially over the past couple of years, that I've been trying to like draw professionally and more of a professional style, and like trying to cement you know, like my interest in drawing and like character design and stuff like that. Yeah, it's been a very interesting process, you know, to find like how often you sort of like approach a drawing and like you're not even really sure where to start, where to begin pretty much, but then like before you know it, like the mind starts working, you start to figure things out, like, and even in my profession as a graphic designer, it's the same, like it never stops, like every single time there are some things that I do regularly, they're always like the same sort of format, but there's always some sort of design solution that you have to come up with to tackle like each unique like situation that you sort of face. So yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, I've been exploring other things as well aside from this. I've been exploring like how like different forms of animation, story time animation and stuff like that. So I hope to hit you up with a couple of videos like that soon, which will be good. Yeah, like just exploring like the river, man, like just seeing like what I can do, like testing the boundaries, seeing what I can get out like with this skill and with like the pieces of understanding that I have so far. So yeah, it's been really good. Yeah, this pose, this 3/4 pose that you see me working on now, took me quite a while to, I think it took me like 2 or 3 sessions to figure out, because, and it's like always the most difficult for me, the backwards 3/4 pose, because I never really know how to pose the arms and the hands from that angle, and it's not an angle that like per se you spend a lot of time in the mirror looking at yourself in, like let alone to like sort of like capture it in a drawing. So it was very difficult. It's been very difficult. I had to make a lot of tweaks to the legs and all of these kind of things. One thing that I love about digital art and drawing and using Photoshop to draw, which like in and of itself was a miracle for me, to be honest, like is that I get to, you know, tweak the lines that I've already drawn, and I don't have to redraw them. Like if I was doing this traditionally, it would have been like a pain, literally. But like in like doing it digitally, I get to like build off of like what I've already like sort of built. So that's all good on that front as well. Yeah, I mean, drawing on Photoshop, like as I mentioned before, is a bit of a miracle to me, because like when I first got Photoshop, or when I first started drawing in Photoshop, like I didn't really have that many brushes, I didn't have anything, and then you know, when people were talking about drawing in Photoshop, it was just like, it was a myth, like basically I just couldn't do it. And at the time I had no, like I didn't have a pen display tablet, and like the tools that I have now, I didn't have access to them. So like it was pretty much using the pen tool. I had a Wacom bamboo, like the old school bamboo. So like I was using that, and like, you know, it like no matter how many people, like I watched a lot of videos on YouTube, watched a lot of like people with influence, and they were like you know, using a tablet isn't going to make you a better artist and stuff like that, which to an extent is true, but yeah, like I can't lie, for me, getting the digital, like the pen display tablet that I have, like like just revolutionized the process, because like a lot of things that I can draw now on the tablet, I couldn't draw on like the bamboo, because it was like I just couldn't get used to it. As many years as I used it, I couldn't get used to the like you're drawing down on something but you're looking up at the screen. Like it just wasn't practical for me. But yeah, like when I first got the pen display tablet, I tried to do a couple of drawings, and I was using like the default Photoshop round brush, like round hard brush, and like it just wasn't working. But like over the years and stuff, that as I've been working on things like discovering new brushes, sometimes you do like a course, and then as part of the course, the artist that is sharing their skills and their knowledge, they share their brush sets as well, so, which is also a useful way to develop like a large brush library, and you know, like the brushes that I used for sketching and stuff like that, I love them. Like literally before I couldn't even it was so difficult to draw in Photoshop that I used to use Sketchbook Pro, Autodesk Sketchbook Pro, which I mean as a sketching software is almost unrivaled. Like it's really good, like as in the things that you can kind of do there. But like the more I started to use Photoshop, I realized how much of a beast Photoshop is in this like sort of sentiment. Yeah, like I'd love to even share with you like my design journey and like how like I've gotten to this place and where I am, where I'm going, and sort of thing. So like I sort of started taking like design and art and stuff a bit more seriously when I was like, I think I was about 19. So this is a while ago, like this years ago. And like I was doing all the sciences. You have like African parents, like you already know where it is, man. Like so you want to go that kind of route because it's like the advisable route. And to be fair, my parents aren't that bad. Like they're fairly modern and like reasonable, sort of thing. But like I just wanted to go that route because it seemed like the right route at the time. But like yeah, I didn't do well in that space. So and I'd always had a passion for art and drawing and stuff like that. So I signed up, went to art school and everything, and then I started using in that same year in Christmas, I started using Photoshop. I got the whole suite and everything, and just started using it, started trying to figure things out. So initially it was like sort of like photo manipulation, using the effects, doing all those kind of like making chrome letters, gold letters, and like that kind of abstract, like shiny stuff. Like it's really outdated now, but back then like it was like, wow, this is so cool. So yeah, I was like into all of that, and then like I became interested in graphic design, and I was like, okay, yeah, if I could do this as a career, like I wouldn't mind, you know, getting involved in that. So you know, studied graphic design, looked at different styles of design, ways to execute design and stuff like that. So yeah, I picked up Photoshop quite quickly. I didn't really use Illustrator, except for, you know, sometimes I needed like an image, to image trace an image, or like a vector-based shape or something like that. Yeah, I'd go in every now and again, just to sort of get that done. But yeah, like it was quite a journey, like figuring things out and trying to get like into the industry, trying to find work in the industry and stuff like that, because like around the time that I started getting into it, I mean, it wasn't that saturated. I mean, right now the industry and like and things is very saturated, but like it was getting to where it is now. So yeah, I found quite a bit of difficulty there. Just done a lot of freelance work. And what I found with freelance work is, and if you're like a young artist, you know, coming up, or young designer, like just like trying to figure out a way to find work, I definitely advise doing freelance work, doing freelance jobs and stuff like that, because I think a lot of the clients are as sort of clueless as you, like when it comes to like the best processes and stuff like that. So it's a good way to like figure things out, like figure out how things work, the best sort of processes, like and I think a lot of that experience like helped me to get into the kind of job and career that I've got now. But yeah, like having drawing and design as a skill set is very important, and it's like very beneficial, because at some point in your life, always you're gonna need to have like a visual way to communicate, because there are some things that you can't describe with words or text. Like it just makes more sense as a visual. So yeah, definitely advise anyone that wants to get into it, like just get into it. Like you're never too old, you're never too like young to get into like art and stuff like that, as long as you can find access to like the softwares and stuff like that. And even if you don't have access to the software, I was drawing on paper for years, like and yeah, I spent a lot of time in church services drawing, like yeah, it's like my favorite time to like sort of draw, like and I learned a lot from a lot of people that were around me, and like how to draw things. And like after a while, I just sort of realized that it's all just like when it comes to drawing, it's all like patterns. I like the way I see like drawing, the way I see music as well. It's all patterns. It's like once you sort of figure out the patterns and the processes, like it's not that difficult. Definitely have loads to learn. Definitely have loads of gaps to fill. But yeah, like I'm really happy with like the kind of work that I'm producing at the moment. I mean, a few years ago, like 4 years ago in 2016 was when I was like, yeah, I'm actually gonna decide to really like do some like illustrations properly. I didn't have any of the sort of software, or not the software, the drawing tablet. I didn't have anything like that. But yeah, it was like, and it was so difficult. Like I'd done everything with the pen tool, and anyone who's used the pen tool, and I don't think I even like my knowledge of the pen tool was as good as it is now, because I didn't really use Illustrator as much. So yeah, if anyone who's done anything with the pen tool, just the pen tool alone, is it's a bit difficult. And like I would sketch on a piece of paper, scan it into the computer, then we've come a long way, man. you would scan it into the computer, then you would like trace over it the outlines with the pen tool, but like you would never be able to taper like the ends of your lines. Like you didn't have that sort of control, like. And yeah, and even like on Illustrator, where you could like create a brush with tapered edges, like you still had like it just didn't feel natural. Like it didn't feel like the way you would want it to feel. But yeah, eventually we sort of like I sort of figured out a process, and like just been working on things. I'm still learning all the time, every day. But like I'm at least a level where I can communicate some ideas that I have in my mind, and make something work. So yeah, I mean this video has been pretty reflective, and to be honest, I haven't really thought about the journey and the process in that kind of sense for a long time, and it's been interesting to revisit that. But yeah, let me know in the comments if that's something that you're interested in hearing about more, if you're an upcoming artist or you're a established artists or like whatever you do creatively, yeah, let me know like your sort of processes and stuff like that. It'll be good to even hear from you about what's been going on with you. But yeah, this is how it turned out. Like, I'm happy with the design, I'm happy with the clothing, I'm happy with the colors and everything. Like, this design sits better with me than rather than him wearing that jumper and everything else he was doing before. It just wasn't really working. Like, I like the scar on his face. It gives me an opportunity to tell backstories. Like, there's so many stories that you can create just from that. Like, and I'm very into storytelling. Like, I hope in the next few months, like, and during this year, like, I can really explore that side of my creative expression. But yeah, like, really respect and I'm grateful for you being part of the journey and watching the video, and I hope to see you next week with another amazing model sheet exploration. Yeah, have a lovely week. Peace.